Psalms 115.
Psalm
115. Someone have it?
I have it.
All right, let's read.
Psalm 115. Not unto us, O Yahuwah, not unto us, but unto your name give glory, for your mercy and for your truth's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their Elohim? But our Elohim is in the heavens. He has done whatsoever he has pleased. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throat. They that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusts in them. O Yisra'el, trust in Yahuwah. He is their help and their shield. O house of Aaron, trust in Yahuwah. He is their help and their shield. Ye that fear Yahuwah, trust in Yahuwah. He is their help and their shield. Yahuwah has been mindful of us. He will bless us. He will bless the house of Yahshua. He will bless the house of Aaron. He will bless them that fear Yahuwah, both small and great. Yahuwah shall increase you more and more, you and your children. Ye are blessed of Yahuwah, which made heaven and earth. The heavens, even the heavens, are Yahuwah, but the earth has he given to the children of men. The dead praise not Yah, neither any that go down in silence. But we will bless Yah from this time forth and forevermore. Hallelujah.
Now, repeat verse 14 one more time, because I don't think everybody heard that. Repeat 14.
Psalm 115 verse 14 says, Yahuwah shall increase you more and more.
And
You and your children.
hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I told you last week, this was his goal, his plan, that we birth holy, righteous children. And he said, I'll bless you and your children. I'll save you and your children.
Hallelujah.
The righteous seed can only come from a righteous being. Anything else is going to fall short. Hallelujah.
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 When I look at my children and I see righteous children, I can say, but by the grace of Yah. But I can look at my children and say, look what Yah has done. He's changed me and he has kept his word. This is a alive and living word. If he writes it, he says it, he speaks it, though they may tamper with it and try to change it, some truths are true. This is a truth that can't be changed. He will actually cause you to increase and your children. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Shema Israel.
Before we do the Shema, I got one song I want to do. Then we'll do the Shema. It's a simple song from brings me back. Can I get that tambourine right here?
Young lady, smile. That smile is glowing. Hallelujah.
What a mighty Yah we serve.
What a mighty Yah we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty Yah we serve. What a mighty Yah we serve. What a mighty Yah we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty Yah we serve.
So this song, keep on clapping. I thought of this song earlier today because when we think about the angels for all eternity are bowing before the throne of Yah, saying, holy, holy, holy is Yahuwah Elohim Almighty. That is amazing that they just pray this over and over for all eternity. So for our moment of praise on Shabbat, this is a special time. So let's sing this one more time. We're going straight into the Shema. What a mighty Yah we serve. What a mighty Yah we serve. Angels bow before him, heaven and earth adore him. What a mighty Yah we serve.
Hallelujah.
Praise God. Let's get a little sway. Say, ooh. Ah. Ooh. That's it now.
Hey God.
One more time, back it up, back it up, here we go, here we go. Say, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah. Hey God. Let's get a little clap going.
Shema, Shema, Shema. 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 Yisra'el, 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 Yisra'el.
Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah. Hey God.
No one's cold, right? We got so caught up in the Shema that I usually say Shema as our offering time. And we didn't even think about it. We were just like into it full tilt. Hallelujah. This is a silent offering. Hallelujah. So, I'm going to try to do this Hebrew word real quick. All right. I got my cheat sheet here. Uh-oh. All right. Does anybody else want my cheat sheet? Yes. No, cheat sheet.
Hebrews always got to.
Yeah, right. So can everyone see my little word that I wrote? Okay, so it's in Hebrew. Yes.
Are we up or down?
Well, it doesn't matter. It was like, let's see, up, down, like a musical note. So,
Am I just holding it? I know. It doesn't matter.
we read from in Hebrew, right to left. Okay? So we just want to sound, here's the actual word. Anybody want to pronounce that?
You know?
Gana. Okay, so the word means, well, let's not figure out what the word means yet. Let's just work our way through it. All right, so what's the first? Gimel. Okay, and what does that mean? Anybody with a cheat sheet?
Go travel, walk.
Go, travel, walk. Doesn't look like it, right? Don't he look like a little man walking? Sounds very smooth.
Stick man, little man, stick man.
Right? Gimel, right? Okay, next. Huh? Next.
No, I'm trying to figure it out.
Is that Mel? No.
Yeah, with an N.
Noon.
Yeah.
It is a noon, right?
Yeah.
Continue.
So like a nun, right? Noon.
Error.
Okay, so what does it mean?
Continue.
Everybody with it?
Say it, lady. What is it?
Which, oh, that's none.
None, yes.
Oh, we thought it was a cat.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Continue,
Air,
air, sun,
sun.
sea,
Hebrew, that's that last one? Last one?
Oh, the last one?
Seed?
Mhm. Sorry.
See?
You got seed. Somebody else may have, sperm.
Well, the
Oh,
original
there's a house.
picture.
Okay.
House.
So,
No, not for news.
so,
No,
so
no,
walk,
afternoon.
let's go back to Gimel.
Walk.
Walk.
Walk, what up?
Continue.
Gather.
Yeah, what up? Is that it? Okay, so walk, gather, continue,
Uh-huh.
right?
And see?
Seed, right? What else was there with seed, with none?
Sun, air, continue.
Okay,
Manifest.
air,
Air like
Air
a descendant.
Air.
H-E-I-R.
alright. Okay, now let's move on to the next one.
Manifest.
House,
Real
Bet.
quick,
Bet.
real
Bet.
quick,
Yes?
the Ark from California, just gives a shout out, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good to see you, I sent pictures, Silver Ray says Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So,
Okay, so last one is bet. That's family, house, or
House.
to be in,
House
the
and
tent.
family or womb.
so you put this all together to take, to walk, right? Your seed from out of your house, to steal. The word means steal. Do you get it?
Oh, so it's
What?
removing.
To take out of your
Walk,
house.
removing.
Because
To take
Because
out
of the
of
gimel.
someone's house.
Continue, walk away with the air, the seed of the house.
Do you get it? It's steal. You walk in someone's house and
Because
you
the
take
gimel.
something
to
out
carry out
illegally.
the Gimel activity.
Wow.
That's what that means.
How
Yeah.
did you come up with that?
That's deeper than just,
That's the word for
that's
steal.
deeper than just steal, because that means
Yeah.
that there is purposeful intent.
Well, most stuff is.
You don't steal by accident.
So the book
Well, the
actually,
personal responsibility in English is removed. A lot of times.
well, yeah, that's why we go back to Greek, to Hebrew. Because Hebrew gives you the purpose of the word,
Right.
the true purpose of it. So to steal, to walk in someone's house, to take his sheep, to take his lamb, to take him. This is important because the book says, "Thou shalt not steal."
Is that the same word they use?
That's the word for that's the root word for that's the word for steal. Thou shalt not that.
Interesting.
So when you see theft, you have to look at it like you have just taken from out of someone's house. Whether it's a bank robbery, whether it's you take someone's car, you're taking from someone's house, from someone's personal belonging. All right, so that's my quick little Hebrew word. Hallelujah for that. So I have a lesson that I want to talk to you about stealing, about theft. But I want to take you through a few verses and just look at this word and see what the book says about. You know what Yahushua said, right? The enemy comes to steal, kill,
Right.
and destroy. Right? So let's go to Leviticus 19 and start at verse 11 through 16. Now I'm very challenged today because we only have a short period that we can teach because we'll have to leave this facility in an hour. And I never get anything done in an hour. But let's move on. Let's go. Someone have Leviticus 19:11.
You shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. And you shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall you profane the name of your Elohim. I am Yahweh. You shall not defraud your neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with you all night until the morning. You shall not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shall fear your Elohim. I am Yahweh. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. You shall not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shall you judge your neighbor. You shall not go up and down as a talebearer among your people. Neither shall you stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yahweh.
Okay, so I wanted to set your mindset because y'all's like, when we get to the lesson, you're going to see something very, I think, very interesting because we're going to go before the law was written, before they had the Ten Commandments. But yet these people knew what was right and what was wrong. It's in our heart. We know, like, you don't have to, you can take a little infant and they'll steal from something from you. And when they get caught, there's spider sensors going on. They're like, ooh, how are we going to get me? Because they know they're wrong. It's embedded in you. The law is to try to help you so that you see how wrong you are. So, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not. When you do it, you're like, whoa. The law told me not to do it. But you knew it beforehand. You know better than to kill somebody, right?
I hope so.
But how many times does this law here, do you feel it in you, in your flesh? Right? You feel it like, okay, so the other day, I was someplace and I saw the building was empty. And they have in the backyard, they have on the ground a compressor for air conditioning compressor. And I touched it and it was moving. It was light. I was like, man, I need an air compressor.
Right?
Oh,
Building's empty.
no.
Now, you know what's really funny about this? I just did a job for someone, and they said it was a storefront, and above their up on the roof was their heating unit, and both of the units were stolen because somebody figured, who's up here? The building's empty, perfect spot. By the time they find out, it's gone. They got away with it. I think, like, I don't know if they got caught or not. But that's, my feelings were like, yeah. I was like, where did that come from? I don't steal. Why even think that? Right? When I know that, I would never, I have to take a wrench, and I have to unplug it, I have to put it in my car, and I'll be driving down the street looking for the police. My mind doesn't think that. But yet, the thought came. And some of us go beyond the thought into action. And y'all's like, no, I'm going to put this in my commandment. This little one. Thou shalt not steal. Okay, so I got to give you my little pre-message story. When I was a child, I used to love this TV show. Anybody know the show I'm thinking of? There's my wife. It Takes a Thief. I would go outside in the morning and see a jet flying over and thinking like, man, to live a life like that. Alexander Monday. Now, Alexander Monday was a notorious thief, right? And so he was hired by the government to steal, right? So our government still does, right? So he was hired to steal, and the thing that really captured my attention was like the way he would steal. Like 90% of the time, when he stole something, he replaced it with something. Like he would steal a diamond and replace it with a fake diamond. He would steal a painting. And the thing is that when they see the painting, they're thinking like, okay, what was stolen? Painting's still there. Till they run an investigation. And they're like, oh, they just stole the painting. Right? So we have a tendency of forgetting some things. Like some things don't matter. But I want to look at, when we get back into the text, I want to look at a stolen identity. Because somebody thought it was okay to steal us. Someone thought it was okay to mislead us.
Thank you.
Somebody thought it was okay to paint a false painting and give it to us and call it our religion. And thought that we wouldn't do the investigation. You know, like I just said about Alexander Monday, when they started doing it, they opened up the painting or the book and they started doing investigating and they started like, oh, that's not right. This paper is not right. Okay, so Yah, in his infinite wisdom, breathed the word onto the script, a living word. So when you do your investigating, even though they tamper with it, you can still find truth. No matter how many times we look, we're in the book, we're like, it doesn't say that. Your book say that? Who got the King James? What does that say? Who got the ESV? And everybody's like, oh, it doesn't say that. But when we go back to this, we start finding truth. So now we go back to the original and find what was stolen from us. Okay, so I want your mindset on with God's, how he sees and operates, how he thinks that we should think. Okay, so let's go to Proverbs 6:30. This is not these are pretext texts. This is not our lesson. This is just a warm me up. Proverbs 6. You probably heard this before. And 30. Make sure we add. All right, somebody read. And we have a handful of people here. Everybody say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, that echoes. All right, someone.
Men do not despise a thief, but he steals to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his husband. But whoso breaks wedlock with a woman lacks understanding. He that does
Destroys his own soul. Isn't that crazy? Like he goes right straight from, well, wait a minute. don't despise somebody if they steal to satisfy their hunger. So I was sharing this with a couple earlier. Like, if someone is hungry and he steals, it's a big difference in the eyes of Yah. Because he's hungry.
And he should be.
Huh?
And he should be.
You shouldn't be hungry.
Somebody should feed the people, right?
We're supposed to be looking out for each other, right? No one should be walking around hungry. But if he is hungry, you can't despise him.
You gotta eat.
He gotta eat. And if he has a family, he may steal more than what he could eat for himself because he's taking something home. We got hunt and gather, right? And that hunt and gather. So let me paint this picture. Here were these people who were minding their own business, right? And another group of people grab them and sell them to some other people. Now we got three groups, right? And they say, you're my slave. And now we decide, we don't need you anymore for whatever reason. You're free. But we don't give you a job. You're out of your homeland, so you're wandering. And now, if you steal, you're guilty of stealing. If you're hungry. Did I hear this before? Yeah. Right? You're found stealing to take care of to feed yourself because you're hungry.
For a long time.
But what about the person that stole you? What is the rightful act?
The rightful act.
What is the rightful act of the man that stole the man?
He's supposed to give 7 times.
No. Well, that's good, but wrong answer. The right answer, he's supposed to be killed. Praise Yah for Nat Turner. He's supposed to be killed because he did the unrighteous thing in the book. The book that he was hiding this from, so he didn't want us to know what it actually said. What are you saying over there, Mark?
He that steals the man of power in his possession shall surely be put to death.
Can you find that verse?
That's right.
Oh.
It's only returned 7 times when you're stealing because you're hungry.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you steal from your husband, now you're supposed to pay back. You're not supposed to just go steal and you get caught. You get caught, you're going to get that.
Right, when you can't.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to steal fine.
Right.
You still got to pay the penalty. You there, Mark?
Exodus 21:16.
Okay, I don't have to read that one because that's the next one up.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. It says,
Exodus
yep.
21:16. Read.
Says, and he that steals the man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
Okay, so there's a big difference between stealing for food and stealing a man. Stealing, somebody says, this is a good one. Well, sin is sin. Right? That's what you would hear, right? In one aspect, you're right.
No?
Because all sin is sin. In the eyes of Yah, it's like you've all fallen short. Because you're all sinners. But that doesn't give you the right to go around stealing people. That doesn't give you a right to go shooting people down cold-blooded and then no one being found guilty. That doesn't give you a right, even if I find myself in a way where I have to go steal to take care of a home. That doesn't give. I'm not justified by it. I'm going to I still got to pay the penalty, right? But if you steal a person, that's person, they stole a whole nation.
Wow.
But they're God-fearing, and they're gonna live forever, and Jesus.
They
is gonna
stole us and put us on the good ship Jesus.
go-
We're on a good ship Jesus. On our way to the promised land.
Can I just ask a question, because of, and this is something actually this is kind of a new understanding. You said, so somebody stole us and sold us to these Gentiles.
Yeah.
So the people who we were slaves for aren't the thieves. They're the buyers of stolen goods.
Read the verse over.
But don't we want to go back to Ghana?
That's a very
Right,
good
read
point.
Don't we want to go back to?
No.
Wait a minute, because we're in a situation now where people are like, let's go back to these. The other ones that bitch you in the morning, guess what? They'll bite you in the evening, right?
But going back to the verses.
Yep.
Go ahead, come on.
It says,
And because it talks about the one that buys, go ahead.
if he that steals a man and sells him,
And sells them.
or if he be found in his
Oh,
hand,
there you go.
Yeah, come on.
he shall surely
There
be
you
put to
go.
death.
Mom,
So
what verse is
both of you need to be killed.
Read that again.
Kurt wants you to read it again so he wants better understanding. Come on. Order. Point of order.
It says, and he that steals a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
So the ones that
Doesn't
stole
matter
us,
either one.
They don't want that
the ones that paid for us as property?
He knew them stolen.
Right.
He knew them stolen goods.
Oh, without question. They said it back.
Talk about leave it alone, get off me.
So it doesn't
That's the
let.
same as someone steals a car, and you go try to buy a car off the
Absolutely.
market, and you're like,
You can't
hey,
get it right.
you can't get the VIN number, so this has been scratched off, but it's a Maserati, and I'm like, $1,000, like, this is a good deal. You probably still, you just
And
steal.
guess what?
Right, yeah, when the police
The
stop
law
you,
of the land
Right,
finds you guilty.
that's right, you're going to jail.
The law of Yah surpasses the law of the land.
Wow.
Lord?
So, in my mind, I'm also thinking about those that are our brothers and our sisters that sold us that may not be Judah, but are Israel. And then I think of Joseph, because Judah sold Joseph, but there was grace found in that situation where they didn't die. So there's some level of grace that we have to have with our brothers and sisters that sold us.
No, but she's touching a nerve because that's our lesson plan.
That's brother against brother.
That's what I'm talking
but
about.
it's
I'm
still
not talking,
black.
but I'm not talking about
Yeah.
the white man, so to speak, but the Africans that sold us that may have been, they may have been one of the tribes. They may not have been Judah, but we know that our brothers and sisters also sold us
So
into this.
when we get, very good point, put that away somewhere because that's what we want to talk about when we get into the lesson plan, when we get to Genesis chapter 42, right? Now, then we start talking about the brothers that sold their brother. That's how we got into Egypt. That's how we all got that's how this whole thing got started with us being in Egypt.
Right.
All right? Romans chapter 2, verse 21.
Where are we on?
Romans 2:21.
Alright, I'll read it. You therefore which teach another, teach you not yourself. You that preach a man should not steal, do you steal? You that say a man should not break wedlock, do you break wedlock? You that abhor idols, do you commit sacrilege? You that make your boast of the Torah through breaking the Torah, do you dishonor Yahuwah? For the name of Yahuwah is blasphemed among the other nations through you, as it is written. For circumcision truly profits if you keep the Torah. But if you be a breaker of the Torah, your circumcision is made uncircumcision. Therefore, if the uncircumcision guard the statutes of the Torah, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision? And shall not uncircumcision, which is by nature, if it fulfill the Torah, judge you, who with the scripture and circumcision do transgress the Torah? For he is not a Yehudi, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. But he is a Yehudi, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the ruach, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of Yahuwah.
So here we have an interesting point. Are you telling people not to steal, but you steal? Are you telling people not to commit adultery, but you commit adultery? So I got to take us back to these same people that stole us. How righteous are they? Or should I say, how unrighteous are they? Yeah, if the shoe fits, right? Teaching us, okay, obey your masters. Obey your masters. Wait a minute. You stole us. What part of that did you not understand? In English and Hebrew, you just can't get it. So we're still trying to get from under that. It's 400 years later. And we can't walk into a store without being concerned that who's watching me. We can't drive down the street. Walk in your backyard.
Right.
Yeah. Let alone your house. Your cell phone.
Right.
You can walk in your own house.
And the people, I just want to call a spade, because the people that did this a lot of them go to a Sunday morning church and call themselves worshiping. But yet have I heard from the White House, from one of the high levels of government, we're sorry. I've heard a lot of us saying, we forgive you. But I don't hear a lot of them saying, we're sorry. You know what? You deserve your 40 acres and a mule.
Oh no, they say get over it already.
Get over it. Get over it, but don't forget.
But it's
Don't
not
forget
happening anymore.
the Pentecost, the Holocaust.
Forget the Holocaust.
But it's not
But-
happening
Oh, wait,
anymore.
but
It says
maybe
in the Holocaust,
in
you're in
Africa,
trouble.
but yeah, don't
He
forget.
says not happening anymore.
Right.
Jeremiah. We were here a couple weeks ago. Jeremiah 7. Verse 9 and 10. Yes. Oh, hold on. Let everybody else find it.
7 what?
Chapter 7.
7, 9. Since I moved slow enough, now everybody should be up. Ready?
Will you still kill?
Go back to 7. I mean, 8. 8's good. Behold.
Behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit.
Mm-hmm.
Will you still kill and break wedlock, and swear falsely, and burn incense unto Baal, and walk after other Elohim, who you know not, and come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered to do all these abominations.
Okay, so this is a big problem. This is a big problem. Because, say that out.
Jesus already covered it all?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's like, you do away with the laws. Romans, we were in Romans, right? You try to discard the laws. And you know what? God has this, like, if you could save this in the mind of y'all, it's like, go ahead and do that. But don't bring it up in my face. Don't bring it in my house. How dare you have a building and call it my building, a house of prayer, and you steal, and you commit adultery, and you do, and the list goes on, the laundry list continues, right? And then you do it in my face. So we have to constantly go back. If we can't do anything else, go back to the top 10 and see where you fit in. Or do you fit in? Because you can leave this gathering and you can go to your Sunday morning worship with the heathens. Yeah, I call them heathens. Go to the heathens and you can have a blast and do whatever you want, dress any way you want, carry on any way you want, because the law is done away with. And Paul disputed that in the 2nd chapter. He's like, he didn't say anything about do away with the law. And I can take you to where Yahweh himself said, you want to enter the kingdom? I tell you what, keep the commandments. The rich man came to him. He says, and he tells him, thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not murder. Don't commit adultery. This is Yahushua saying this. He said, keep the commandments. He said, what commandments? He starts running them off.
Bless
He said, you want to do that? Good. You keep the commandments. You in. You can't, it's an impossibility to think you're going to be with God and you're living foul. You're committing adultery, you're stealing, you're robbing, and you're killing, but you think you're okay.
What about the chosen people?
And see, someone just asked, what about the chosen people? And then you're doing it to the chosen people. Which is really like, of all people, go steal from the Chinese. Steal from the Jews, because they're not his people, the Jewish people. Right? Steal from anybody. But when you start messing with us, I love this phrase, Houston, you got a problem. You got a problem. Anyone that does us wrong has a problem. And then they'll say, where is our Elohim? And I'll say, what happened to paradise? Keep messing with them. Keep messing with them. And see what happens. The time is coming when Yah is going to pour out his judgment on the USA and any other nation that has done us wrong. It's coming.
What about the wrong that we do? I mean, the heart is deceitful above all things. Who can understand it? We all sin. So I understand the wrong that has been done towards us, the chosen.
And that's...
But what about the wrong that we
Yeah, we have done wrong.
Right.
And that's
I mean,
why.
is there a consequence to
That's
that?
why we
Oh,
here.
there's always consequences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't, no,
I was making sure I was
no
hearing
one,
that correctly.
no one gets away with murder,
Okay,
right? No one gets away with any wrong.
gotcha.
And the sword doesn't depart.
We gotta hire.
What's that?
The sword doesn't depart from his house.
It's judgment.
Starts next.
Judgment starts here.
Gotcha.
The problem is, I say the judgment starts here. The people that have replaced us and or have tried to get rid of us, the Christians, they are missing it because they believe they're the people.
But,
Go ahead.
but Yahushua HaMashiach was addressing this whole issue of the commandments and the laws not to break. But he went a step further when he added, we have to go beyond what has happened physically to the causation. And I think what you're addressing is whatever state we are in, whether it's stealing because we have not or anything else, we are addressing at this moment the causation because we have certainly been judged for our wrongdoing and continue to be judged first. But the causation of why we are in this position of being judged now is the people that stole us and the people that purchased stolen goods and profited from that crime.
Now, our goal is, and this is why we're teaching the commandment, our goal is to get back in track, online, in alignment with Yah.
Right.
So the things that we run down as we go through the Ten Commandments, we're like, okay, we may have been guilty in the past,
Okay.
but now that we know better,
Right.
we do better. So we probably went out and hiked someplace in our past. We probably took a car. We probably did some really raunchy stuff in the past. But Yahweh has delivered us and pointed us back into the right direction. So we're teaching the commandments because the commandments have not been taught. The commandments have not been taught. At the most, they may put them on a wall someplace. At the most, they may have them as a bookmarker. But the laws, statutes, and his commandments must be retaught. It's rebirthing of a nation. We're learning as we go through our walk to get it right. We can't look back. We can't look and say, yeah, well, we're not on our land, so we don't. No, we need to look at the book and say, you know what? Thou shalt not steal. We're not stealing. And go ahead, Mark.
To your point, like I think that when you go through the text from cover to cover, a lot of times we're so used to being on the bottom side of judgment that we don't recognize we're already being judged for what our forefathers and what we have perpetuated that's wrong.
Yeah.
So when we talk about, like I don't mean nothing when we talk about that Ezekiel, Deuteronomy about the one who steals the man. We're not rah-rahing and cheering on the death of anyone. It's just a matter of reciprocity that is a righteous principle. It's not a thing where we're in here like salivating to see somebody be killed. But he's bringing these points along to illustrate that we've been being judged. We've been born in judgment, a lot of us. So it's not no thing where it's like, well, you know, like we ain't here talking about the law because we know that we're supposed to. If we don't do right, we get the sword too.
Let's go to Genesis. Let's get into our text. We're only going to get a tad bit into this. It's funny because a year ago, I was thinking about this morning. A year ago, almost to this day. We did we talked about Rachel. And remember that? We started going into the text about the brothers going and killing Dinah, right?
Oh, Shemet.
It was the feast of dedication, right? We talked about that and how he went in, the two brothers.
Simeon and Levi.
Yeah. And what did Simeon and Levi do?
So there was a prince.
So this is, now we're going into Sunday school lesson.
Okay.
That's what they call it, right?
So Shechem, who was a prince of a town.
Sure, we go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay, so he went and grabbed Dinah, he raped her. And then when she got home, her two brothers found out, Simeon and Levi, and they went and completely, they made an agreement. So Shechem wanted Dinah for his wife, and he was trying to, make arrangements with it. And so the brothers said, well, you people aren't like our people, so you have to be circumcised. And so when he and all the men were circumcised, while they were still recovering from their pain, Simeon and Levi went and destroyed the whole town. Killed
Who are Simeon and Levi?
two awesome big brothers. Brother two and three, yeah.
Sons of Jacob.
And Leah.
And Leah. Sons of Jacob, right? Who's Jacob? Was Jacob?
Yisra'el.
Jacob is who?
Yisra'el.
Yisra'el. All right, so when you read about Jacob, how did he get his name? Anybody know that?
He wrestled, yeah, with the angel of Yah.
He wrestled with Yah. Chapter 36. You're close.
Was it 38?
No, he may be right. Find the wrestling. Because we're making our way to Egypt. Right? This is what we're going to do. We're going to get to Egypt. But before we get to Egypt, there's some things that 32. 32, there you go. So Jacob, this was after, right? Was this after or before?
Before.
32:24 before.
It was before, okay. So he wrestled with them, let's read it. Genesis 32.
32.
In the 20s.
All this is getting, and don't forget, this is all about stealing. And someone who lost their identity. Because that's us, we lost our identity.
That's right.
Verse 20, starting at 24.
22.
22?
Mark.
And Jacob wrote, I'm at 22, right? And Jacob.
Hold on. Why did I go to 36?
Somebody said it first.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley.
What verse?
32 and 22.
Verse 22.
And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons, passed over.
His how many sons?
11.
Isn't that a lot of kids? Why would I ask how many sons?
One's missing.
Benjamin wasn't born yet.
Oh, because Joseph's already, Rachel hasn't born.
Rachel hadn't had
Rachel hasn't had what?
Hasn't had Benjamin?
She's not right.
Okay. Now, it's important that we talk about how many it is, right?
Tribes, yeah.
Thank you, I've been waiting for that. This is the birth of our 12 tribes. This is where we came from, right? So, Benjamin, he's the baby, right? He's not in the picture yet. Go ahead.
And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaks. And he said, I will not let you go, except you bless me.
Now, what you're getting ready to see and witness is something that's supernatural, and it's something that's in us as Hebrews, as Israelites. The blessing does not, you know, a candle burns out. It does not burn out. It continues. Come on. So he said, I'm not going to bless you. I'm not going to let you go until you. Now, and he's thinking he's wrestling with a man, right? So let's hear it. Let's hear it.
And he said unto him, what is your name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, your name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has you power with Yahweh and with men, and have prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray you, your name. And he said, wherefore is it that you ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen Yahweh face to face, and my life is preserved.
He did what?
I have seen.
No, back it up. One verse. He blessed him?
He blessed him there.
You should highlight that. That should be like, there's something happened there. He blessed him. What does that mean? Did he, when he left, he got a car out front? A bunch of camels? What does that mean? Can anybody help me out?
But he asked a question. It seemed like Yah was asking a question to him. Am I seeing that right?
What verse was it? He blessed him.
He said, you know, I lost it.
He said, why you ask me my name?
You're right, right.
Yeah. But the point of this is that he was blessed. All right, let me take you back. When they brought us over here, right? How come they couldn't kill us? Because sure enough, how many times have you heard the N-word? How many times have you seen us shot? How many times have you, do you not think they want to kill us? Look at the Indians. It's like 5 left in the country. Pretty much, right? Like, how come we keep rising?
Because he promised it.
Because we're blessed.
And he promised
Yes.
his word
We-
can't come back
it can't
void.
come
He
back
said,
void.
I will increase you like the sands of the sea.
He gave it, he told Abraham that, right?
And it says,
He took, there is something, if you saw what, okay, so look at his sons. His 2 sons, 2 of them. Just 2. Go and kill a whole town. What you see in the past is still happening today. When we can go in one person. They're like, if we get this one guy, on our team, we're going to be a world champion. Right now it's LeBron James. If we just get LeBron James, like what about everybody? We don't care. If we get to LeBron James, and what happened? In a year, the team that was a nobody is a contender for a championship. We get this just one guy, and put him on our team as a running back. Just this one person. And guess what? Every time it's a Hebrew. The blessing is in us. And we don't get it. We miss it. We're like, right overhead. They'll bring us into the plantation. and we will outwork everybody else.
Panama Canal. My wife was just telling me the other day, they brought in Asians, people from all over the world to build a canal. They say multiple people build it, but the truth is that they were dying off. They could not withstand whatever it is to actually build a canal. It was us that had to finish it because we can actually withstand the environment.
When we get further into the text, right? The boys, you know, they're kind of knuckleheads. They took one of their brothers, and they sold him. Right?
Mm.
Wait till you get to the text, read it. You're going to have time this week, read it. Because you're going to find that he said, when you put me here, you put me here to keep us, to save our people.
Mm.
And then I had a moment, like I was studying this, and I was like, oh, my goodness. Because it was like an aha moment. I had this morning. I was like, that's why we're here.
Wow.
To preserve the other 12 tribes. Because he needed the seed, just like the seed of Joseph, to save his people. It's almost like we're looking at history repeating itself. And that's why Ghana is like, you guys can you help us, and maybe you can come back to us. Because they know that there's something in us. Why do they want us?
And no African Michael Jordan.
No African Michael Jordan. The Kenya is trying to set it up for us to come back. They don't realize what they're even asking for. They're really asking for the seed of Judah to come and to help us, which is who we are.
That's so interesting.
Because when wherever we are,
Wow.
it will be blessed. The country will be blessed.
Wow.
If you take us all out of the United States and you put us someplace else, the United States goes down and the other country goes up.
Wow. Could this be with their repentance, maybe?
No, it's not their repentance.
I think for some.
What's that?
Trying to
I think
find
for some individuals.
a way to get that apple of his eye back into their land.
Wow.
Well, that's what they say in the Middle East. I don't know if you've seen this video. There's this woman, and she's clearly like Persian or Iranian.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, please, this is your time. In order for the healing to begin, you have to come back. And it's like, well, we can't come back on your word. We have to go back on the Most High.
And I'm glad you said that, because what I would advise, we don't go anywhere until y'all gives us marching orders. Y'all gotta speak. He has to give us marching orders. We don't want to be like Sarah's wife. Yeah, we'll go sleep with such and such.
Like who?
Then we got another mess. Right?
Not Sarah's wife.
I mean, Abraham's wife. Sarah's wife's sister.
Yeah, we weren't rolling like that.
Yeah. So I really want to, let's go to, let's move up a little bit. 40, let's go to 42. Genesis. And we're going to look at, we painted a story, we painted this thing, and before we go there, we know that there was an incident where, remember last year we talked about this, Remember there was an incident where an idol was stolen in this family?
Yes, yes.
Right.
Out of a tent or something?
No, but when Rachel
She
stole,
said,
Sitting under her
when they
father's
left.
Okay, so Rachel
Stole her father's idols.
Yeah.
now why did Rachel steal the idol?
Because her menstrual cycle.
Well,
No,
that
no,
was
no,
where
no,
she
that
did
was,
it.
that was the
Wow.
excuse she used.
Okay.
So she,
To hide them.
Because she was a thief.
because she was a thief.
Thief.
As simple as that.
So she was a thief. Tried
There was nothing deep there.
She wanted for herself.
She was a thief.
If you look in Jasher, her father would use them to like fortune tell kind of deal. And so she was afraid that he would use those idols
That's right.
to find them, to locate them and find out where they
That's
are.
right.
Oh,
So
wow.
she took them.
Also,
Okay.
so he can use it to.
She took them to try and hold him off from.
What does the word say?
But he found them
Stole.
anyway.
Thou shalt not steal.
She
She stole.
Not to mention, you shouldn't have any gods other than no idols.
She wasn't worshiping.
Now, in this time,
Doesn't
and
matter.
hold
Not
on there,
supposed to
because
touch it.
when you look at the time factor, where she was at, everybody had gods. They had multiple gods. Abraham walked out of a land full of multiple gods.
He destroyed her.
He destroyed them.
She could have done like Abraham.
And
And
just
destroyed
walk-
them.
right.
Because that's what he did. He just smashed his
He
father's
just-
stuff.
right.
And he was like, get out before I kill
Now,
you.
when you're guilty, you do some stupid stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right?
So
Make it worse.
it went from they said, her husband said, find out who has the idols, because we don't steal. So you find out whoever has the idol and kill it. Kill it, whether it be him or her. He had no idea that it was his wife. He'd been working day and night for this woman, right? He's like,
Right.
the last thing I want is,
It's her, though.
yeah.
Well,
And so they went from the oldest to the youngest. And then you're going to see this cycle happen again, right? When we get to the book. That's why I had to bring this to you. Because it goes from the oldest to the youngest, and it gets down to Rachel, and they went through everyone's
wow.
tent. They went through everyone's tent, and when they got to Rachel, they went inside, and she was sitting on the couch. Well, sorry if you don't mind, I don't want to stand up because it's that time of the month, right? And she's sitting on the idol, right?
Right.
She pulled it. She got away with it, mind it, right? So this whole mindset of stealing was kind of like in their DNA. You know how somebody's an alcoholic and the kids become an alcoholic?
Well,
And
no, but it makes sense because Laban was. If you look at his whole history, Laban was. He was that type of guy.
And that's why I said it was because she was a thief.
was a
Because
thief.
her family had a history
Of Steve.
of
Deceit.
doing things that were
Stole
wrong,
labor.
and it was already in her blood.
Whose family?
He did. He stole
Yeah,
it.
her family.
Our family.
Our family.
Oh, wow.
Our family has a tendency. That's why we always run around killing each other. When we do kill each other, because somebody done stole something from me.
That's typically why.
You know? I moved from away from you guys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I did. Because they stole my dog. I mean, sell my dog and then come back and steal them. We couldn't have anything in our house that we weren't afraid that it was going to be stolen. Bicycles were stolen. Everything
We will
was
steal
stolen.
some things. Certain things
We have a problem, don't we?
Yes, we do. White things, for sure.
Well, not everybody.
Not everybody.
She said, don't put me in
Yes,
that
I
category.
did.
You should have put me in it.
I don't blame
I'm
that.
sorry.
When you was young, you was. When you was young, you had them sticky fingers.
We have a problem.
My mother would break her hand. I'm telling you.
Sure.
Yeah,
You basically said,
Not big
if you
things, sometimes.
buy stolen goods, you didn't worry about this stealing.
Right.
They can buy stolen goods, they don't steal.
Well, see, there's a.
Ouch.
You got me. But I move to people that will not steal what I have because I didn't have much.
Okay.
They'll steal from people they have much.
You know what?
And I was kind of safe because
They were looking at what
it's
you
like,
did. Okay.
this Negro ain't got that.
Ain't got nothing I want.
Oh, man.
We're not the only ones that steal now.
No, but we have
Good at it.
we good at it. We have a tendency of that is in our DNA. And that's why y'all must have put that in the book.
I don't know.
Go ahead, kid.
But when we do steal, it's for a good reason. Other
Yeah.
reasons, they steal just because.
Yeah.
We steal for different reasons. Like,
Well, you know what?
It ain't just.
You know what?
It's for something that we want.
Let me share this one
We get
story.
crafty with that.
Let me share this one story with you guys, right?
Get crafty. It ain't just for no
This is my
reason.
last story.
No, we got a story.
All right.
That's my father.
I raised
No, we got
five nephews? 5 nephews. One of them had this problem. And I don't want to call his name out, but he had this problem. I come home, now, I don't have much, but I'm giving all that I have, right? And I look to the blind side of my house. I have a side of the house where we don't travel that way. I have a gate there now that I can go in the back of the yard that way. But for the most part, the driveway's on the other side. The main entrance of the house is on the other side. So there's no windows on this side of the house. So I don't notice what's there all the time. I don't want to over-exaggerate. I think it was about 6 bicycles on that side of the house.
confirm that.
I think
And
I
I'm
was in college
like-
then.
Cannot confirm or deny.
I come in the house, why are all these bicycles at the side of the house? So the one nephew decides, whenever he wanted to come home, wherever he was, he needed a ride.
Wow.
And it was before Uber. And so it was too far to walk. This boy was stealing bicycles every day and bringing them to my house. I'm like, boy. You got to go, but before you go, get these bikes out of my yard. Because the police are going to come and they're going to say, you stole these bicycles.
So your property.
It's on my property. And if I say no, I'm going to jail for stolen bicycles. We have this problem of stealing bicycles. Stealing cars.
Shiny things.
How about this one? Stealing women.
That was big into us.
Huh?
Everybody like.
Wasn't it?
Everybody got quiet? Everybody got quiet?
Everybody got quiet. Everybody got quiet.
Wait.
I
You
see
don't
it. It was like, ooh.
You don't understand?
We don't steal women.
Who knows?
Well,
If the woman is married to someone else, right?
Listen,
wait a minute.
wait.
But you don't know you're stealing.
Okay.
Sometimes
Might
you
stole
don't
the
know
man
that you
then.
stole.
Oh, you
Yes.
don't stole women, you stole the men then.
Right, that's what you.
It's reverse.
Either way. Either way. Thou shalt not steal.
Hold on a second.
Listen.
Hold on a second. But if you
My
talk about
time-
a Hebrew woman can't be stolen unless she want to go. There's
My
a
time
level
is
of
expired.
You might
responsibility
be
on
right.
her.
You might be right.
Amen.
There's a level of
All right.
responsibility on the woman too. Sorry.
Help your brakes.
Point of order. Point of order. Mark is about to read. Where we at?
I 42.
With Genesis 42, but you
Genesis?
Yeah.
I done lost
You
my.
done got all lost. Sorry.
Y'all start talking about stealing women.
He's
I'm
on
surprised
track.
you shooting, stabbing, and everything else going on after that.
We were okay when I said stealing bicycles.
Yeah, that was all right.
We're all right when I said stealing cars.
Fine. Cars.
Cars fine.
Stealing women?
Stealing women, I was like, ah!
The women ain't walking like that.
She made a good point.
What?
if somebody, you know, you can't steal a woman unless she wanted to be stolen. I mean,
Unless you want to know.
right.
Still
Now, I'm
You can change your mind. I'm
arguing
already
that because Joker walked up with all the intangibles. She basically stole. Matter of fact, Jokers know when they're rolling off, I'm going to steal it. See, so it's not even what she
She
wants.
wasn't focused on it.
No.
They
Oh, now let's talk about our people.
Say that again, say that again. I didn't understand.
Our
So she changed
people.
her mind.
What I'm saying to y'all, this is, we're not even talking. Brothers, we don't even consider the sister. We just know that's the object we want. And we leave knowing that we're going to steal the women. Now, jokers in here can deny it or say, you know what, you're right. We're not considering what the woman's contemplating or thought is. She becomes the object, just like David. David stole Bathsheba. Nobody asked Bathsheba anything. David's mindset was, I got to have her. That's covetous. He said, I'm stealing her because I can't have her because she's married to somebody else. He stole her by design. Yeah. So when Joker rolled with the Lamborghini and the drop top and gling gling and ice, and sister's like, wow, all my bills and worries and stress is over because Yahuwah and Sydney and Joker.
And Frank, he ain't been taking care of
He
business.
It must be, and this is what happens after the fact, but we are talking about the nature and intent of our brethren.
What did you say,
That's what I said.
Would you say so?
What did you always say?
Come on now.
If you rob,
Come on now.
come on, here, let's hear it. If you lie, you cheat. If you cheat, you steal.
If you steal, you kill.
If you steal, you kill.
That's right.
Wow.
That's what I said.
And you just brought that to my remembrance because when you hear what David did,
He had to kill him.
he's like, when he first saw it, when he saw it in his eyes, he said,
And he couldn't afford it.
I can afford that.
He could afford it because he came right.
Yeah.
But he couldn't afford it without crime.
That's why he lied about the baby. Go live with your woman. Go live with your woman.
I didn't want to go there with David because
But he's the
that's
perfect
all that
example.
story. But that's a good example.
It's the truth.
And you see what,
And he paid, yes, he paid lost his son.
Asher, you got 1 minute. What?
No, I was saying that he knew what he was doing. I mean, he covered it up. I'm not really going to say 100% that I think she wanted that show because he tried to, get Uriah to sleep with her, but it was more so like you wanted her just to satisfy your needs
But didn't they
in
say,
that moment, and then you tried to, when you found out that, your sin was going to expose itself, your immediate reaction was, let me try to cover this up, and then we realized that he wasn't going to sleep with his wife. Okay, instead of being open about what you did whatever you could to cover it up.
is that, brother?
So basically, you're saying when a Hebrew man gets in player mode, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. That's
Wait a minute, but the woman is not
When he gets in
Can we have this
All right, all right,
conversation
all right.
after?
Time out.
All right, he can continue this later.
We will continue this debate. We'll continue this debate when we get back to the house.
Bop with the head.
Because we always have a part 2. 5 minutes.
What did you want to read?
Let's go back to
Genesis 42, right?
42.
42.
Let's find a good cutoff
So
point.
confusing.
What verse were we at?
You
didn't give us. Okay, so let's just read the first.
I ain't never still.
Let's just start reading a little bit of Genesis 42. Maybe 10 verses. I'll tell you when to stop. Do the first 20 verses.
When Jacob learned that there was grain in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why are you staring at one another? Look," he added, "I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy some for us, so that we may live and not die." So 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to buy grain from Egypt. But Jacob did not send Joseph's brother Benjamin with his brothers, for he said, "I'm afraid that harm might befall him." So the sons of Israel were among those who came to buy grain, since the famine had also spread to the land of Canaan. Now Joseph was the ruler of the land, who sold grain to all his people. So when his brothers arrived, they bowed down before him with their faces to the ground. When Joseph saw his brothers, he recognized them, but he treated them as strangers and spoke harshly to them. "Where have you come from?" he asked. from the land of Canaan, they replied. We are here to buy food. Although Joseph recognized his brothers, they did not recognize him. Joseph remembered his dream about them and said, you are spies. You have come to see if our land is vulnerable. Not so, my lord, they replied. Your servants have come to buy food. We are all sons of one man. Your servants are honest men, not spies. No, he told them. You have come to see if our land is vulnerable. But they answered, your servants are 12 brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. The youngest is now with our father, and one is no more. Then Joseph said to them, just as I said, you are spies, and this is how you will be tested. As surely as Pharaoh lives, you shall not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of your number to get your brother. The rest of you will be confined, so that the truth of your words may be tested. If they are untrue, then as surely as Pharaoh lives, you are spies. So Joseph imprisoned them for 3 days, and on the third day he said to them, do this, and you will live, for I fear God. If you are honest, leave one of your brothers in custody while the rest of you go and take back grain to relieve the hunger of your household. Then bring your youngest brother to me so that your words can be verified, that you may not die. And to this they consented. When they said to one another, surely we are being punished because of our brother. We saw his anguish when he pleaded with us, but we would not listen. This is why this distress has come upon us. But Reuben replied, didn't I tell you not to sin against the boy? But you would not listen. Now we must account for his blood. Then they did not realize that Joseph understood them, since there was an interpreter between them. And he turned away from them and wept. When he turned back and spoke to them, he took Simeon from them and had him bound before their eyes.
Hold on, that's it. So they pulled out Simeon, and we know who Simeon was. We talked about him earlier, right? So I just wanted to get you your senses tingling, because we want to walk into this next week, right? You see the attitude. You start feeling what's going on here, right? This is not a hard thing to say for me to recognize. No, the lost identity. Because I think I shared this with you guys. My mother died 3 years ago. And I was in the church where she was being viewed, and we were having a service, and I was standing next to this guy, and I pulled on his beard, and I said, it's getting kind of long there, isn't it? Right? Or something, and they kind of laughed it off. And I lined up with the family, and we started walking down the aisle, and I'm like, why is this guy walking with us? And at that point, I realized it was my brother.
Wow.
I was getting ready to see my mother's body that was right in front of me. And I had my brother standing next to me, who recognized me, but I didn't recognize him. So I lived this whole thing of being next to him. I was dumbfounded, because I was like, it's my brother. Oh, and check this out. When he got up and spoke, he spoke to the congregation in the Hebrew tongue.
Wow.
Wow. That's wow.
He's my fellow elder and brother. He's a moray in the Hebrew walk.
Wow.
Which I had no idea until, I knew that he was doing something like this, but I had no idea what this was, because I was all into Christianity, right? But this is not a strange thing when we hear a brother saying, brothers looking at him, and not understand who he is. So, thou shalt not steal, part 1. Come back next week. We're going to dive into this, part 2. Same station.
Same settle, same station.
Hallelujah.
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 And hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So I was told that I have to be out of here